Hey everybody, welcome to the Friday 3D Printing Community Hangout. Tonight we're joined by Travis from A Pyro Design.
Sorry.
For those who haven't seen,
I'm messing it up already.
Yeah. Travis does what he calls logos to life, where he takes 2D logos and makes what I call 3D masterpieces out of them. So we're going to real quick, everybody will go through their intro and we'll move on to Travis. And Travis is going to tell us a little bit about what he does, what software he uses, what printers he uses. And then as you guys think of questions in the chat, go ahead and ask them and we'll keep track of them. And I'm sure the panel will have some questions of our own for Travis as well. So let's go ahead and get started with Chris.
Hey everybody, Chris here at mchrisp1. Also, you can follow events with 3D printing and Earth at eastcoastrepfestival.com. I am one of the co-founders of that. Just here to talk to Travis tonight and learn about some of the magic he does with these prints. I've been a big fan of his. I think the first one I saw was the Joel telling high five hand. I think that was the first time I caught Travis's stuff. So very much looking forward to talking to Travis tonight. Go ahead, Matt.
Okay, next up we've got David.
Hey, David Randolph, one of the owners over at Printed Solid. Having a good old time. You find us on Twitter and Facebook and all that other stuff. And yeah, that's our fun. I just kind of anything and everything 3D printing. So here to kind of hear how different people are doing it different ways.
All right, and last but not least, we've got Travis.
Last but not least, Travis from A Pyro Design. I see a lot of people in the chat that I know, so that's awesome. So it's easier to talk to those people than random people. I do all kinds of stuff. I started my YouTube channel like back in 2006 doing like random stupid videos and kind of did a few videos over the years, just like Ari. Like one of them that went viral was like Ari playing with a little Darth Maul bank in shoot. It actually went viral, was on TV and all kinds of stuff. So I've been a YouTuber for like a really long time. I didn't start doing the logos to life stuff until like maybe like 4 years ago, and it was kind of random why I started doing it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just like kind of going into this. I'm not really just introducing myself, but yeah, it was the first one I did was start off as a fan project for the Angry Video Game Nerd. He's a pretty big YouTuber. He's like 2 million subscribers. I found out that he was going to be at an event, PAX West in Seattle. And I was like, I'm just going to make him something fun. So I found his logo online. I just started like tweaking it and like putting like a NES controller wrapped around it. Did all kinds of crazy stuff. And I had access to the 3D printer at my college at the time. And I just put it together, 3D modeled it. I use 3D Max, and that's what I've used for years. So I 3D modeled that, painted it up, and took it to PAX with me and gave it to him. And didn't think anything of it. You know, he loved it like when I first gave it to him, but I didn't think anything of it for a while after that. And found out like about 6 months later that he was super excited about it. He like posted a video about it that I completely missed, and he actually ended up using that logo for his movie, the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. So it kind of got me like really excited about YouTube and excited about doing just like 3D printing in general more than I had started. Because 3D printing, when I started it was about 2008, 2009. It was like back before a lot of people were 3D printing. And it just so happened like the school had this, they had I don't even remember what it was. It was one of those big Stratasys U-print printers that has like the support and the like the ABS. So it was a dissolvable support. So now I'm off track. Anyways, so it got me excited about doing 3D printing just from that thing, him putting it in the movie. So I made another one for him, and I took it back to the either the next years or the years after that, PAX. I took it back to the Angry Video Game Nerd. It was like his Cinemassacre logo, which is his company logo. And I gave it to him at his movie premiere, like at PAX. So it was pretty awesome there. And I got to like talk to him a little bit. And after that, he asked me to do like more of these logos for him. So I just started doing them, and I did them for every single one of his different shows. He has like James and Mike's Mondays and Board James and all these things. So, and like to this day, he actually uses the James and Mike Mondays. If you actually go to the Cinemassacre channel, you'll see the James and Mike Mondays logo that I made for that. That was actually one of the only logos that I've made that was my original design. It wasn't like a logo that I just created from another logo. Anyways, he still uses that. And then I kind of started thinking about it. I was like, oh, what if I reach out to other people and or other YouTubers that might want to do this? So I reached out to Dame Drops, and I got like really into the foodie community and like started doing a bunch of logos for them. And that's how I met like Boogie 2988. And like there was a lot of stuff that skewed from there. And in between all that, I'd always been a fan of Barnacules, and I had seen Joel Telling on Jerry's channel, and they were doing a live stream or something together. And I was like, oh, I could maybe reach out to Joel and do this for Joel too. And that's like, that kind of exploded me into the 3D printing community. Like Chris, you said that was the first time you had seen my thing was the High Five logo. So that was like my intro to like so many people in the 3D printing community. It was crazy. And it's like, it's been a crazy adventure, and like, it's been amazing. And like, I've met so many people through doing these logos. It's like, it's kind of a crazy 3D printing story that just like happened like on accident almost. Like I didn't even like, I was just like doing a fun project, and like it kind of skewed from there. And it's been like 4 years of my life like that I've just been doing this. I didn't even I haven't even like done it in like the past like 6 months or so. I kind of like dropped off a little bit because I got busy with the rep box and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's my kind of my story about like logos to life. Like I said, I use if you want to get into like the software I use 3D Max mostly. Like I said, I've been using that for years, probably since like 2002 or something like that. I've been modeling in 3D Max because I did animation and stuff. I'm just like all in so many different directions. Oh yeah, I use 3D Max. I use ZBrush. I use a lot of Photoshop because a lot of the logos I do, they start out flat. What's up, Joe Mike? I didn't even see you in there.
By the way, before you get too much into it,
yeah.
Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you, your work, and your social and all that stuff?
Thank you. You can find me on any social media. Instagram, YouTube is all A Pyro Design. Yeah, my YouTube channel has all the logos that I've done on there. Instagram, all that has that too. So yeah, find me at A Pyro Design if you haven't seen my stuff before. Like I said, I've seen like 99% of these names in here. So yeah, I use Photoshop a lot, like when I first start out, because you know the logo starts out flat, so I just usually trace the logo out to start out, and then I go from there. I usually take it and somebody's at my front door apparently. I take it and I extrude the logo out, and I just start from there. And I usually do like some boolean cuts, and like here, let me grab this one right here.
While Travis is grabbing that, all of Travis's links, his YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Etsy, and Patreon are all down in the description, as well as all the other co-hosts.
So this was my Dame Drop shield that I made for Dame Drops. It basically just started out as like a flat logo. It's his logo, and his logo's round like this, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a shield out of it because he's like a big dude, and I was like, he looks like he would look pretty badass with a shield. So I just started out flat and just extruded it out, and I did like some boolean cuts on it, and you know, it became a shield. It's not really that hard of a design. It's just, I don't know. And G Create actually printed this for me on their big G Max printer. I need to finish this. I've had this for like 3 or 4 months and I haven't done anything with it. So,
that's the replacement for the original one.
The replacement, yes, because the original one got melted in my car after I gave it to Dame Drops.
Oh no.
Yes. Don't ever leave 3D prints in your hot car. It's a bad idea. So I'm gonna let you guys talk for a minute. I feel like I'm just kind of like blah, 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 blah.
What's some of the stuff what are out of all the logos you've done, which one is your favorite?
I've actually got that question before, and I don't necessarily have a favorite. It's always like I've always answered that question. It's always the one that I'm working on currently, and like there's certain ones that I disliked more than others, just because they were harder to pull off. But usually it's just like the one I'm focused on. One of the ones that I really thought was really cool that didn't like really get a lot of attention, but it was just fun to do, was the Maker Box one, because I actually included some electronics and lighting and stuff like that, and it was just exciting to do stuff like that because I had never done that before. Because if you haven't seen that one, like you open it up and it actually like it has like the Maker Box thing. It has like some like twinkling, sparkling sound, like, and it goes oh, like angelic, like you're opening up some crazy fun thing. So
it sounds way better than Travis's sound effects.
By the way, can I make a quick comment about that Maker Box?
Mm.
So, as you know, Printed Solid, we bought Maker Box.
Yeah. Do you guys have that?
That was the funny part of the story. It was part of the sale negotiation. Your box was in that.
That's awesome.
We wanted it. They wanted it. After we came to a price, we said, fine, you can keep the box.
That's hilarious.
So your box was the only argumented contentious point of that entire negotiation. Just letting you know.
That's funny. Yeah, it's funny to me too, because that brings up a point. It's like most of these things, these projects that I've done, I don't have them anymore. I've given them all away because they were all for some big thing, a YouTuber or you know, somebody paid me to do it or whatever. So I don't have many of these logos. I do have one really awesome one that I did with Chaos Cortex. This is like one of my favorite logos that I've ever done. Going back to that, this is the Sonic the Hedgehog logo. I just love this thing. I did all the actual logo part. I don't know if I'm in the camera. I guess I can look over here. And Garrett and Chelsea did the actual Sonic on here, and we just put it together and made this amazing, freaking awesome piece of art. This is like a piece of art. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that thing's really cool.
So and that was 3D printing and laser cutting and painting. So,
well, and some of that you did wasn't some of that sublimated too?
Yeah. If you look at the Sonic letters, those are actually laser cut aluminum, and then I did sublimation over it to give it that like gradient effect on it. And these wings are also laser cut aluminum with a little bit of a border on them that's sublimated. So.
Yeah, so that's something else that you get to branch into. Initially, when you started Logos to Life, it was just 3D printing, but then you quickly used your access to big lasers and cool toys at work to get more fancy.
The laser at work is just so much fun. I haven't been doing a lot of YouTube lately, but I've been enjoying. If you guys want to like see what I'm doing at work and stuff, I've been doing a lot of YouTube stories. I know that's random because there's stories on everything now, Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. So I've been just like randomly getting on YouTube stories and posting a bunch of my laser cutting and stuff. So if you guys want to see any of that.
There's a little bit of a, I guess, an inside joke that you haven't made it as a 3D printing YouTuber until you've had your logo 3D or laser cut by Travis. So I count myself among the lucky few who is a recipient
on this list
of the logos to life of my logo. And I display it proudly. It's one of my favorite things ever.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, dude, you freaking got us to Murph, man. I had to do something for you. I feel like I needed to do so much more for you. It was like, that was an amazing trip. That was just such a fun trip.
Oh man, that's just getting you to Murph was reward enough.
I still can't believe you guys tried to make me cry, though.
Of course we have to try to make you cry. I'm gonna lounge out in front of my Christmas tree. You guys carry on.
Joe Mike's always got the most interesting scenery, from hot tubs to Christmas trees to
I'll try to keep things
The man with
going.
the pose.
yeah. So some questions from the chat. Tony Ryan actually had two of them that I'm gonna kind of ask you back to back, Travis, because they sort of go hand in hand. First one, how long did it take you to get comfortable with the 3D modeling software that you use? He said he tried Blender and got super confused and frustrated.
With 3D Max, I mean, it took honestly years for me because I started out with like a basic 3D modeling program called Wings 3D. You can look it up. It's still available and it's still the same crap that I used. They never updated it. It was just like a basic poly modeler, and I wanted to go to something better, and like I kept on looking at like what people were using in like animation and like video game design, because that's what I originally wanted to do. So I looked at Maya and I looked at 3D Max, and I can't remember if I got a student version or maybe a not so legal version of 3D Max from somebody. And I started using it, and I just kind of fell in love with it, and I just kept using it every day and like messing with it and like watching videos. And it can take a long time to learn a 3D program. There's so many options and so many buttons and so many things that you can mess up. And so many, the thing is you just got to go in there and just try it and like push it. Blender's definitely a hard one. I used Blender before, and I had a class that used Blender one time in college, and I kept on just wanting to use 3D Max because I was more comfortable with it, and they kept on pushing me to use Blender. And I'm like, this is horrible. So yeah, it can take a long time. I mean, some people obviously pick it up faster than that, but for me, it was a few years.
To follow up with that, Tony Ryan wanted to know, what are the features and workflow that you like about 3D Max over other pieces of software, and how many other types of modeling software have you used?
Some of the features I like in 3D Max is it's actually not really like anything. There's a lot of things I hate about 3D Max. I just use it mainly because I know it well and because I've been using it for years. There's so many cool things that like I've started using ZBrush in the past few years a lot more, and there's a lot of features in ZBrush that I love about over 3D Max. Like for instance, like the Boolean tools in 3D Max suck. They like will error out all the time, and like stuff will just never work, and you'll get these stupid garbage errors. It's horrible. But I'll take that same model and I'll throw it into ZBrush, and it'll Boolean it in like 5 seconds. It has like live Boolean features that you can like just put cuts into, like jam a cylinder right through like a character or something and put a hole right through it. It's amazing. So if you really wanted to look into something that's like an awesome software that's really intuitive and like works well, ZBrush is like where it's at for me. Like I said, I use 3D Max because I'm comfortable with it, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, ZBrush has that
same
learning curve where
it's
really easy to do something and everything's gone. I've been trying to learn ZBrush to do more and more organic modeling, and yeah, so many times I'll be, hours into screwing around on something and getting it to where I like, and then all of a sudden I do something and it's gone. I'm like, crap, I didn't save this.
That's funny, man.
Shoot. No, I forgot what question I was going to ask. Dave and Chris and Joe Mike, if you guys have questions, feel free to jump in. I was going to ask something, but I got to think what it was now.
So when you pick a logo, what makes you sit there and go, oh, this is going to be easy or this is going to be hard? What aspects of that design?
I mean, I guess it's just what I don't. That one's kind of a tough question because every logo I do look at differently because, you know, sometimes you think about like, okay, look at Joel's logo, the 3D printing nerd. It's just basically letters that say 3D printing nerd. So you have to like look outside of that and like be like, okay, what's Joel all about? He's, you know, the high five guy. Like, and especially back then when I did that, he was like all about the high five guy, you know. So you know, he was the first 3D printing YouTube channel I did. So I was like, okay, I have to incorporate 3D printing. I have to do the high five thing. So I, you know, I just thought about it for a minute. And like, I don't know. I just look at stuff like that, and I just kind of, it comes to my mind. It's weird. But as for difficulty, though, like I said, Joel's logo is very easy, or very, it's almost more difficult with something like his because you have to do something. You can't just like, you know, take the letters and extrude them out. That would be like super boring. So his is almost more difficult. It's almost easier when you have something that's, you know, like this Sonic logo or something that's very defined. It has like all these things. And then I just like kind of, it's more of like a copying thing, or like a, how do I figure out how to make these shapes and stuff like that versus coming up with the actual concept of something different. I don't know if that answers your question, but I,
well,
I kind of.
On a follow-up to that, I mean, logos, a huge, two big aspects to it is font and color.
Yeah.
How often do you find the creators chime in and go, hey, the font looks slightly different, you know, that type of lie, as I like to call it, in the design process?
I've actually never had anybody say anything like that. Everybody's usually like super supportive about what I'm doing. And like a lot of, if you look at a lot of YouTubers' logos, they're like really basic, and they've like, it's usually something they've thrown together in Photoshop, or like something they've done that's just like 5 minutes of work or something like that. So it has to be like something that, you know, I just see, or like has to encompass like the person that I'm doing it for. So like that's what I try to aim for, is just try to, I don't know, be creative with it.
And my final question before I let Chris chime in on that, or ask his questions, how many times have you just told someone go away?
Oh, that has to be a lot, dude. Especially after Joel's video, like I had so many people asking me to do the logo. So many. I still have a document that has probably like 50 or 60 some names in it, that just like people that I took them all down too, because I originally had planned to do all these logos, and I was just gonna do like some basic stuff, and I did for a while. I did like this thing called New Logos Life, where I was doing like really small channels, and I was trying to you know, have fun with the community and like the small 3D printing channels and stuff, and it was fun, and I like met a lot of people that way too. And sometimes it was even more fun than doing the bigger channels, because those channels were like so appreciative, and they would like come on my live streams, and we would like get to know each other, and it was just like really cool. So I still have that list, and it still haunts me to this day, though. I'm like, I wish I could do all those, but it's just like so impossible.
How do you, I'm sure it's probably tapered off a little bit just because it's been a little while since the last Logos to Life, yeah. But I'm sure, especially when you do the bigger channels and stuff, you're probably getting bombarded constantly.
Oh yeah, dude, it's nuts, like all the time. Since I started doing more, like I do like the video game logos and stuff like that, then I just get people asking me, can you do this one, or can you do like this video game, or can you do this movie or whatever? And I'm like, I can't do all that either.
You pretty much pick the ones that are of interest to you. YouTube channels and stuff, you pick the ones that are your favorites. And exactly. The games and movies and stuff, pick movies that you're into or really excited about, that type of thing, basically. Yeah, exactly. Got to have the enjoyment to do it, to keep doing it.
Yeah, that was hard. That's what was so hard with the YouTuber logos and stuff, and that's the reason why I feel like that my channel actually didn't grow as much as like other channels. Is that like I would get these really skewed audiences. Like I would do this big logo for like Boogie2988, for instance, and I would get like a crap ton of subscribers. But then I would start posting all these small YouTube channel logos and like this other random 3D printing stuff, and like my channel got really skewed, and you know, it's kind of the reason I stopped doing the logos in general lately. Like I started like working towards like the more mainstream popular stuff. I still love like the fan aspect and like the YouTuber logo stuff, but it's just it's not really a way to grow a channel.
What's it like when you did the bigger channels and they showed it on their channel and everything? I know every time you did one, you got a huge inrush of traffic and everything. What was that like?
I have to say it's just fantastic. It's amazing. It feels like just like this surge of like just like everybody like watching your work, and like one of the biggest ones was like the Boogie logo, and just like everybody coming in, like all the amazing comments, and like I got in a weird space where like everybody was always talking about getting all these negative comments and all that stuff, and I was like, I never got that. It was weird. Like I never got negative comments because I guess it's just what I was doing, and like it was just like so shocking to people that I would do this for somebody. Like so it just like felt amazing, and I still like right now I can feel like the rush of that feeling, and like it makes me want to keep doing it. Like I literally have one right behind me that I've had sitting here for I don't know, like 3 months for a channel called Feast of Fiction. And I'm like, I've got to get that out because I just love that feeling. I love like seeing that stuff out there, and just like working with these big channels is just fun. I don't know.
Well, that and the reaction video that Boogie posted when he got your shield.
Dude, that was so epic.
That was just such an amazing video.
Yeah, and I see he still has that shield in his background of every video, and it's like every time I watch one of his videos, I'm just like, oh, that's there for everybody to see all the time. It's just like amazing. I don't know.
Oh heck yeah, it was great. It was like watching a 5-7-year-old open up a Christmas present, and it's like a Nintendo.
Yeah, it's
so much cooler.
He's like, honey, can you get my Master Sword?
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
All right. The Logos to Life videos that you've done, I actually have every channel, I think, except for Joel's. I never watched the channels before. So like Bogey and Dame Drops. Yeah. What was the one that they did the sushi thing?
Healthy Junk Food.
Yeah, Healthy Junk Food. Yeah, like they might be bigger channels, but I never had heard of them until I saw you do the logo.
That's the funny thing about YouTube. I mean, you could have all these, you know, huge channels that have millions and millions of subscribers, and nobody's ever heard of them. You know, and that's the thing I was talking about before. That's why it's so hard to grow a channel like that. It's because I would get all of that fan base from, or like a bunch of that fan base from that channel or whatever. But then they would look at my next video and they go, I have no idea who this is. I'm not watching this. So, you know, and to a point, it's weird though, because there is those loyal people, and it's like I love those loyal people like even more because there was this instance that happened like about a month ago where I was talking, and I tweeted about this. I was talking to a guy on Microsoft chat about my Xbox, and he's like, "Are you the A Pyro Design that did this healthy junk food logo?" I've been watching. He's like, "I've been watching your channel since the healthy junk food logo, the original one that you did." And I was like, "That's crazy!" Like, those kind of people are freaking amazing to me. It's so weird to have that kind of experience. I don't know.
We all laughed with Pooch up in New York. You say about the channels that are huge. He walked up to Bob Claggett, who's got 2 million subscribers, and goes, So what do you do? Are you a YouTuber, or what do you do?"
Exactly.
Yeah. So real quick, Brian, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick? We don't have any audio, Brian. All right. Well, he's working on that. Chris, do you have any questions for Travis?
Yeah. So Travis, you get an idea. It pops into your head. Where does your creative process start? Are you somebody that needs to pull out a piece of paper and you do a sketch, or do you go straight into the digital playground and start creating on the computer?
Yeah, I've never been great at sketches. I mean, sometimes I do very basic sketches, like super like scribble on napkin type stuff, and that's usually just to remember something that I'm doing, or like I'll write some notes or something like that. But then I will just jump into like 3D Max or ZBrush and just like start modeling something. I'll usually take the logo that I'm working on and I'll start by just tracing that out. Even if they have like a high res image of it or something like that, I'll just start by tracing it and getting like the best detail I can on it. And it gives me time to like just sit there and think and look at it and think about that person or think about like what I'm doing with that logo or whatever. So that's just where I start. And it kind of just always has been good for me. It's like a jumping off point.
Cool.
Brian, did you get your audio? Not, still no audio.
Yeah, they're saying my drawing is terrible. My drawing is not terrible when I actually try. When I'm just sketching something out, yes, it's terrible.
Oh my God, my drawing is horrible. I'm probably the only person who understands it when I draw something.
So Travis, question in the room from Robbie McHugh. Have you taken 3D logos to a fourth dimension by adding other elements such as lights or sound, etc.?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. I think the only time I did do that was with the MakerBox logo, was when I put the lights and the sound. And I don't know anything about like electronics. I'm really bad. Like I run these laser cutters and computers and do all this crazy stuff, but I cannot like do like soldering and all this other stuff like very well at all. Or I don't know like how to do any kind of circuits or anything. So I took with that one, I actually ordered a it's called a portable reading card thing that you could just get the chip and like record whatever you wanted to onto it. And then I do know like I soldered like the battery to it and like a little switch, like to where when you open the box it would turn on automatically. And that was like the farthest I could go with that. But yeah, I've always wanted to incorporate that stuff more, but I need to get better with it, or just start messing with stuff like that more. So.
All right, Brian, it sounded like you got audio.
Am I audible now, finally?
Yep, now you're audible.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Vines. I'm BB3. I'm a little guy in this hangout with all you big guys, so.
Guys. Oh man.
Brian's always I figured I shot him a message quick and said, "Here's the link. I think it's about time you join."
And now here I am. Hopefully, I'll just be quiet and sit in the corner, and you know, you can bring me out once in a while.
That's what I said I was going to do, and they wouldn't let me do
that. Travis, so you use 3D Max. You do use ZBrush a little bit.
Yeah, I try to shift more towards ZBrush all the time, but you know, it's still like you said, there's some weird stuff that throws you off in ZBrush. So.
Do you use anything like Fusion 360 or anything like that for like basic models?
No, I've tried it before, but anything basic that I do, I just do in 3D Max. And that was another hard thing with the 3D printing community, is like I was always using 3D Max and like nobody has any idea how to use 3D Max because it's expensive too. That software is like ridiculously expensive. So I was actually spending once they switched to subscription, I was spending like $500 a year for the subscription. Before they did that, it was like $3 or $4 grand for the software. It's like insane. So and I paid it. You know, I liked the software and I had used it so long that I had paid it. You know, because I had to, I guess.
Yeah. What besides 3D Max? So, like, if somebody was interested in getting into 3D printing or 3D modeling, I should say, would you recommend they go ZBrush, or ZBrush is better for more organic modeling?
Yeah, ZBrush actually has started to include more poly modeling and stuff too. But yeah, I wouldn't probably recommend it for like a beginner though. They do have a basic version of ZBrush too that you can get that doesn't have as many things in it. That might be a good place to start. Like any of those like super basic things like Tinkercad is always good. I've messed with Tinkercad, and it's like I've had Ari mess with Tinkercad. It's just like Tinkercad, SketchUp, like any of those super basic ones. It's always good to start with something like that and just get used to modeling without all the extra features, without all the extra buttons and all the extra stuff that's gonna like throw you off, because you could get overwhelmed very easily in those programs. So I definitely recommend starting with something more basic. I mean, that's what I did. So I guess that's the only reference I have too. I like I said, I started with Wings 3D. If you want to go mess with Wings 3D, go download that. It's super basic. It's just like it has like 5 shapes on the top. You just start pulling and pushing on the shapes. You can do a basic render on it. It's like super easy. So yeah, I mean, there's even like a lot of them that are just online now. You don't even have to like install software. I think Tinkercad's like that too, right?
Sorry, I was reading the chat. What did you ask about Tinkercad?
No, I was saying that Tinkercad's just like one of those online programs, right? You don't even have to install it.
Yeah.
It's just web based.
Yeah.
I was just reading up through the chat. There was a question here. Yeah, Eddie, I'm not asking your question. Okay, I got another one for you. When you pick a new logo, every time you do the next logo, are you always trying to find something new, like a new skill to learn each time? Like with MakerBox, you started to incorporate electronics. Are you always looking to learn like a new piece of 3D Max or a new tech?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because that is something that I did try to do for a long time. Like even when I when I was doing the Cinemassacre logos and stuff, I always wanted to do something new with it. Like at one point I started doing Heather says I need to do a 3D Pink Mafia logo. Yeah, I know, Heather. It's been sorry. Even back like the Cinemassacre ones, if you look at why am I forgetting the name of it? The one with that was the moon that I made bleed. I wanted to incorporate something that wasn't like 3D printed, and I put all these tubes inside of it and like tried to just like I always try to like do some mixed media. I never want to just like limit myself to 3D printing. I always want to like do something else cool with it. Like every time I like do a logo, I will try to do something new. Like that's like exactly what you were saying. Like whether it's a new kind of painting, like I started airbrushing on stuff, or like when I got the new laser in the garage, I started doing like with the Avengers logo, I did wood burning and engraving and stuff like that. And I'm even getting better at that now. So it's always good to push yourself like that and try new things when you're doing these projects, because even if you have a failure, like you have something that doesn't come out like you want it. Like if you look at my Avengers logo that I did and like the stuff that I've been posting on Instagram with the laser engraving and stuff, it's like night and day difference. But I thought that was amazing at the time, and it was like super, it was fun to learn, and it was, it's just like always good to push yourself like that.
What printers and stuff, let's go through some of the hardware that you use after the modeling's done. So you use 3D Max to get the model. What's your, I know you have printers that require certain slicers and stuff like that. What slicers are you using? What 3D printers are you printing all your stuff on?
For the most part, I use Simplify 3D. I have to use Cura on the Moai because it's just like the only software that works with the Moai. I was using Cura too when I first started, because I had the Ultimaker 2 was my first printer that I got at home. And then I just switched to Simplify 3D, and I haven't gone back yet. I've heard a lot of things about Simplify 3D lately that people are hating on it, but it's just easy to me to have every printer in one software. It's just like the best way to do it for me. So, and there's a lot of features in there that I use like all the time. Like I use like now I'm forgetting what it's called, where you can like use different
multiple processes.
Multiple process, yes, exactly. So I can, you know, put like way less infill in the bottom, and then like certain parts where it needs more, I can put it in the top, stuff like that. Because a lot of my prints, they end up being really big or like, you know, really detailed in some places, but not in other places. So it's, you know, I have to save on print time, and I'm usually recording these things, so I don't want to like take forever and all that stuff. So Simplify 3D just works for me. But as for printers, I have the Ultimaker 2, I have the Zix Plus, I have the Tivo Tornado, I have a CR10, I got the Moai. I think that's no, and I have the Robo, the R2. And I have the G Max right now, but that's Joel's. So that's the traveling G Max that's shipping around. It's been pretty fun to mess with a printer that big, actually.
My bot just attacked Heather.
I was looking at that. She's gone.
Sorry, Heather. I'm fixing that right now.
I was reading there trying to figure out what the heck was going on.
It took her as spamming because she was one message right after the other. Sorry, guys. Nightbot's on. I actually thought I had Nightbot turned off, but go ahead. Keep going, Travis.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because I usually use like the printer that the newest one that I have when I'm doing a project. Or I don't know, like the best one that I have, I guess. So I want to get more into the Moai because I haven't really used that enough. I've used it only a few times, and then like I let resin sit in there, and like my vat is like toast now, and I need to get another one. So, yeah, I don't know. That's about it. You can go ahead now.
All right, so that gets you up to the printed model. Most of your stuff, I'm assuming PLA.
Yeah, I do all PLA. I like the sandability and like stuff like that of ABS and some other materials, but PLA is just so easy to print with that I just haven't really changed from it. I've tried like PETG, like the Boogie shield is made of PETG, and I did like the way it sanded, and I like, and the main reason I did that was because of the Dame Drop shield melting in the car. Not that I thought that Boogie was going to melt his shield, but yeah, I mainly just use PLA, all kinds of stuff. People send me stuff all the time, like random stuff. So I'm just like using whatever people send me because I'm going to paint it anyways. So I just get like random, and like Heather has like the crap ton of pink filament. So like some of my logos underneath are like pink, and that's pretty funny.
Do you ever print the backs or the bottoms of logos so that they don't know what color they were?
No, it's funny too because like if you look at the backs of some of my stuff, I'd never finished the backs. I'm like horrible about that. I just hate. I'm spending so much time trying to make it look good from the front that I don't pay attention to the back at all or the bottom.
Yeah, it's a lot of times that's how I do mine. Like if it's something with a flat bottom on it, like the Sir Layers a lot that I did for Printed Solid, sat like this the entire time. I primed it, put the base coats on it and everything, flip the bottom over, and yeah, whatever. It's not finished.
Oh,
what do you use for when you're painting? Are you using acrylic paints, modeling paints? What's your go-tos for that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, my main process is sanding first, you know, assembling, or if there's any like pieces to assemble, sanding, assembling. I try to, when I break down the logos for printing and stuff, I try to do things to where, like, if you look at this logo, I printed it in like a billion pieces so that I can paint each one of these without having to like sit there and paint around like each individual edge or whatever separately. So it makes it like 1,000 times easier than, you know, having to do all this detail work around these letters and stuff like that. And that took me a long time to learn because when you first start out, you know, you just want to print something in one big chunk and then do whatever with it. And it, you know, it just takes so much longer that way. It's better to take the time when you're designing something and break it down and do it. And then you can also, you'll get a cleaner look in the end because, you know, you can sand each individual piece. You can make sure that there's not weird edges and like stuff like that. So yeah, so make sure everything's broken down. I sand it really well, and then I use the automotive filler primer that like everybody uses now. I actually have some XT3D stuff that I want to try out. I haven't tried that yet. And then a lot of times I'll just use like basic acrylic paints. I don't use anything like fancy or anything. I just use regular brushes, and I've been painting for a lot of years, so painting just comes natural and it's easy to me to do. And then a lot of times I'll just finish off with like a clear coat or something, or like a matte clear coat, just to finish it and make sure it doesn't get like scratched up or nasty or anything.
Do you do anything that you put the time that you've put into logos for yourself, as far as do you do any movie props, anything like that you actually keep yourself?
I've done a few, but like everything that I do, like I usually like showing off, and like the easiest way to show those projects off was like give them to people or send them out or like do something like that. So I do have a small shelf of stuff that I've done for myself, like these video game logos and stuff. I haven't given to anybody, but even I had a thought that I could do video game logos and give them to big video game YouTubers and like have them like pick their favorite video game and stuff like that and just send those to them. So I don't do a lot of stuff for myself, and it's sad sometimes because like it's hard to see your project that you've worked so long just like go off in the mail, and that is the worst part. Let me tell you, sending that thing in the mail and having it worry about like UPS kicking it or whatever, you know, getting broken in the process, and some of them have too. So thankfully the people that have gotten them, they've been able to fix them because it's like little things, but it sucks.
I'll bet that's probably the biggest stress is it's not so much if they'll like it, it's if it shows up in one piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that Boogie Shield, I know we were all amazed. I'm still amazed at the finish that you got on the chrome. Chrome.
That was like one of the worst ones too. That paint just kept on, like anytime I touched it or like got anywhere near it, it would just get like these smudges on it. And I did that logo like this where I broke it all down and I had the pieces all separate, and then I glued it all on after I painted it and everything, and it was all perfect. And then I jacked it up, and I had to like completely tape around all the little letters and all that stuff and repaint it. It was horrible. So.
Brian, did you have questions for Travis?
Oh, I'm sorry. Huh?
Joe Mike's sleeping. I put him to sleep.
Hang on, let's bring up, since he's not making any sounds. Where's my mouse?
Hey, there's a good question in the room. Another one from Robbie. What's your go-to glue, Travis?
I mean, I use a lot of epoxy. I use like the Gorilla Glue, like 5-minute set epoxy. That works really nice to hold stuff together. I've been really want to try that 3D gloop stuff. I haven't tried that yet. I used to just use, honestly, super glue on everything. And as long as you sand and finish your pieces well enough, and make sure that you're not like painting like right on the pieces that you're going to glue together and stuff like that, or if you sand it really down nice, super glue works good too. It's just like epoxies and stuff I found have worked better.
I think the epoxies are going to give you a longer lasting adhesive.
Yeah, exactly. Because who knows? Like I said, I've been sending these off to all these people. Who knows if they're falling apart?
Right. I know my Shore Trooper helmet's 2 years old, just about 2 years old now, and there's a couple of spots where the super glue is just not holding up anymore. And that was all you said about priming or not priming and painting where you're going to glue. That thing was glued together before I ever painted any of it, and there's still parts. I've decided the last time it went down to printed solid is the last time it's leaving the house. I picked it up and I heard crack. I'm like, oh no.
I think I saw it on that trip, didn't I, Matt?
Yes, you did. Yeah, I brought that down, and you can't see it, but the SpaceX helmet that I haven't touched since the day I took it down there.
So Travis, real serious question in the room. Who's the best wife around?
Who's the best wife around? That has to be the 3D Pink Mafia mob boss.
All right. I think you might have gotten that one right. So good job.
She's standing over on the side there with a baseball bat.
She just carries one in her back pocket all the time.
All
So
right.
Travis,
There you go.
do you think the epoxies work better than the regular CA glue just because they tend to fill in the gap a little better?
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, you think about like with 3D printing, there's all the tiny spaces, and like super glue almost like seeps into that sometimes. Like it'll go right in between the spaces on the 3D print and just like not really even leave anything there for it to adhere to. So the epoxy like definitely has like a, you know, it's a lot thicker, so it'll stay on the surface, and then you can like, you know, have it right there. The only problem I've had with epoxy sometimes is you can't use too much because it'll like leak down the side of your printer, and then you have to clean that off too.
Okay. Yeah, I normally use like a kind of medium thickness CA glue when I'm putting stuff together.
Yeah.
And that seems to work. I put that together and then I clamp it and I let it sit for about 15 or 20 minutes just to get it to cure.
Yeah, clamps are definitely your friend too.
What kind of
pile of clamps? My daughter's always stealing them because she wants to make a fort in her bedroom, and I'm like, where are my clamps?
What are some tips that you have for anybody who is looking to 3D print something and finish a 3D print?
I mean, the main tips I would say is just be patient and like just enjoy what you're doing. Don't get frustrated with it, with the sanding and stuff. Take your time. Like, you have to like get almost zen about it, because like, you know, I'm gonna be honest, sanding and stuff sucks. It's like horrible, and like finishing a print is like can be like horrible sometimes. So you have to be like zen. I'll like listen to music and like hang out. A lot of times I'll just throw on a live stream. I would like when I started, I would just even live stream to like nobody. Like I would just get on a live stream and just like talk to myself, and it kind of got me used to talking to the camera and stuff too, because I, you know, used to be like super shy, and I don't know if you notice, I'm still kind of like a little sketchy here and there, but anyways, I would just like talk to myself and like talk to, like, sometimes there'd be like one or two people in there, but just listen to music, be zen, just have fun with it. Try not to like let it get to you, because then you're going to come out with a better piece. If you rush it and you try to like just like slam stuff together, like you just want to get it over with, it's never going to come out good.
Any tips for your post-processing as far as paints and stuff like that? Which way do you prefer to paint? I know you do a lot of it by brush, but you said you are doing airbrushing a little bit more. Which do you enjoy more?
As for enjoyment, I don't know. I mean, I really like both of them for enjoyment. I mean, there's certain things that airbrushing works way better than like a hand brush. I like I said, I enjoy the hell out of both of them, but I don't know. That's like a tough question.
What's the best? This is from Robbie Mack. What's the best happy mistake you've come across when 3D printing or finishing logos?
The best happy mistake? Oh, that's kind of a tough one too. I don't know like that I've had any like really happy mistakes. I mean, other than the whole Logos to Life experience kind of being a happy mistake of just doing stuff and like stuff coming from it and like showing my stuff off. I don't know. I mean, I've never really had like anything that I was like super stoked about while I was finishing something.
So let me ask you this. A lot of 3D printer people know nothing about airbrushing. If they want to get into airbrushing, what's their starting point?
A starting point with airbrushing.
What do they got to buy, and what do they have to learn?
I too would like to know that.
I honestly use a basic airbrush from Amazon. The biggest thing I found out about airbrushing, this is the same one that Chelsea from Chaos Cortec uses, and she's actually like, if you guys ever want to know about airbrushing in general, she is amazing. She does like the best work, and she's been doing it a lot longer than I have. She actually suggested the airbrush that I use. Like I said, it's a basic one from Amazon, but I would say the starting point is make sure that thing is clean always, because you will get so frustrated as hell if that thing is clogging up all the time and you're just not getting paint out, because you want the paint to flow through it. If it's getting clogged, then you're screwed. So make sure it's clean. Like if you think it's clean, clean it more. That's all I can say about airbrushing.
Hey, Travis, a tip for you, since Pooch is down at your house frequently.
Yeah.
Get him to bring his nozzle cleaning kit. It works excellent to clean out your airbrush.
Yeah, actually, the airbrush came with some nozzle cleaning things that I didn't even know about for a while. So,
I've been using the crap out of the nozzle cleaning kit to clean my airbrush when it does, because I don't buy airbrush paint.
Yeah.
I mix acrylic paint down with rubbing alcohol.
That stuff clogs like way worse than I've done that before.
I've gotten it down pretty good, but yeah, every once in a while you end up getting a chunk that didn't mix up right, and it just, as soon as it hits the nozzle of the airbrush, it's clogged.
I mean, and definitely good airbrush paints help. I've used like the ones I have that are back here. I don't know if you can see them behind me. They're just like the cheap ones from Amazon, and they work fine. Like as long as you keep your airbrush clean and you keep it in good shape, you don't like mess up your needle and jam it on stuff. So, are
you using acrylics or enamels, or what type of paint are you using?
Like the stuff I use on the, like when I'm just brush painting is just like acrylic. I use a lot of. It's funny because some of these logos have like this Martha Stewart paint on them, like a pearl like stuff. And then I have a lot of times I use like Liquitex, just like the basic stuff. And then I have just some other basic paints. I've been collecting a lot of these over years. I have some more expensive Liquitex stuff. Those seem to work really well. They're kind of thick though, like with the Liquitex stuff. If you get like the nice stuff, you have to like thin it out a little bit. And they have like medium stuff that you can get that thins it out. But did you just make yourself darker?
Most of my basement went out. This is my work mode. Oh look, Joe Mike crawled away from the camera. This is my work mode, like Joe Mike has.
Oh, good.
It's 11 o'clock here, so the house automatically goes to sleep.
I can't believe I've been talking for like an hour.
See, and you were worried.
I'm still worried. You're gonna keep asking me questions.
So Travis, you play with a bunch of different machines, laser cutters, CNC printers. If you could only have one of them, what would your one machine be?
Oh man, that's a tough one because I love 3D printing so much, but the speed and the craziness of the laser is like, I don't know, that fiber laser is probably like one of my favorite toys to play with, just because you can like cut like insanely thick metal and like it's just so clean and everything comes out so nice and perfect. The fiber laser is probably where it's at.
Okay. Follow-up question, kind of, sort of. What's the next machine you're planning on getting? You know, I'm sure Dave is laughing over there in the background. He's always trying to figure out the next machine he's going to buy. What's the next machine that you would like to get your hands on?
If I had to pick, I would want to get like one of the newer MMUs. Like I have the original Palette Plus. I would love to get like the Palette 2 or Prusa MMU or something like that, because I want to start doing some more of those fun multicolor prints and stuff, because I see a lot of potential there besides multicolor that could be done that I feel like hasn't been experimented with a lot. And he's
And what
my MMU too? It's still in the box.
You guys,
what's your next dream machine that's not 3D printing?
That's not, what's that?
What's your next dream machine that's not a 3D printer?
Oh man, think about that one for a while.
Chris knows because he knows I got a new toy showing up next week. So.
Oh, it shows up next week. I didn't know that. I'll be
I've made
stopping
my
by.
Christmas present to myself.
I mean, I've always wanted like an actual CNC machine. I've never really used a CNC. I've always used, I've used laser cutters and 3D printers so much, but I haven't used a CNC. I think there's other things that you can do with that too that you can't do with either of those. So
I love those machines. I've gone through a lot of them. Check out Open Build. That's probably right up your alley. They've got some really cool kits. And so you start out with the 3-axis, and then you'll get 4, and then you'll be like me. And I'm currently 3D printing my own 5-axis.
Nice.
So that's my next personal side project. I don't even have a reason to. I'm just making it.
That's the best kind of reason.
He's got filament he needs to print.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't really do kits. That's what Chris is saying. I've had some bad luck with kits that I've done before, and I just like I said, I don't do like electronics that well either. So like anything that I'm good at fixing things, but like actually starting from scratch and putting stuff together and like figuring out why something is not going the way that it should be is like not a good thing for me.
The nice thing is that most of the CNC kits that are out there, Shapeoko, Inventables, Open Build, they're all on the same level now that they're all about as difficult as putting together a Prusa MK3. Okay. They're in that class now.
Yeah.
So it's a lot less of a challenge than people think.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, like a lot of the 3D printers, like even the ones like the TiVo and the CR10, those even have assembly. I mean, that stuff's super easy. That's not hard at all.
So, I mean, it's great. All those companies, I bought early models of every single one of them. You had to terminate the wires and solder stuff.
Oh, man.
Now it's down to, it's like the wires come pre-wired and plugged, and you literally just plug it in, just like the Prusa style.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's way better.
And the software's oversimplified now. The early days, oh, God bless us, we were horrible. But now it's actually understandable.
Heather said the next tool that she wants Travis to get is a washer and dryer.
Oh man, that doesn't make things though; it just washes things.
It makes things clean.
I will tell you this: a dishwasher does a great job of getting the smell off of ABS when you cut ABS on a laser.
Oh, I've never tried that. I tried to cut some PLA once, but I haven't tried to cut some ABS yet.
Cutting ABS, it makes a big smell and it's all sooty, but you put that in a dishwasher, it comes out beautiful afterwards.
Yeah, freaking laser smells are just like crazy. You don't know like how bad and crazy things smell until you start cutting things with a laser.
What's some of the other stuff that you've been doing, Travis, other than the logos to life? What's some of your other projects?
Oh man, lately, dude, I haven't been doing really anything. I've been working like 10 hours a day. Like I said, if you go watch my YouTube story, I'm just like sitting there filming my laser cutting metal all day. I really wish I had more to say about that, but like I just haven't had time to do any projects lately. It's horrible, and I hate it. Like I really want to get back into doing stuff, and also the rep box too. Like yeah, Heather said I said that exactly when she said hashtag rep box. Yeah, the rep box is taking up a good chunk of our time too, because we're just like shipping kits like constantly, and I mean that's a good thing, but it's just a lot of time to like get these things together.
Is Ari still standing there? She slipped off camera again.
What are you doing? Are you trying to come say hi or something?
Hi, Ari.
Come say hi.
Hi.
Oh.
Ari, which one of your dad's logos is your favorite one that he's done?
I'm not sure.
She doesn't know. She's like, they're not here, so she can't see them.
Yeah.
I used to have all of the signs up on the wall with all of them, but took them all
Did
down.
your dad at least do an Ari show logo?
Yeah, we did do
And I picked
that. That was one of my favorite episodes because I didn't have to be in it. It was just Ari. My favorite videos that we've done.
Ari, there's questions in the chat for you. Chris wants to know, why are sloth hugs the best?
Why are they the best?
Because they're soft. Because they're soft hugs.
Are they?
Uh-huh.
You're funny. Very sparkly. It was pajama day, so you've been wearing that all day, haven't you? That's cool.
So Travis, you at one point you had shown some pictures online where I think you were using the laser to cut some I guess it was like fence rails, maybe.
Cutting fence rails. Were you talking about like on Instagram or?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Was
like,
it
maybe it was like deck rails or something like that.
It was what?
Maybe they were like it was like a big, cut out of a 4x8 piece, I think, and it was like railing pieces.
Yeah. The metal fence pieces. That was. There's actually this guy. First, I guess I have to start off. I work at like a mansion. Like my boss's house is. We have a shop in the back of it. He has his mansion. My boss is kind of like this rich, white, eccentric guy. Anyways, we work behind his house in this giant, like 2,000 square foot shop, and then there's another shop with the laser cutters in it, and then right around in his little court, there's another guy that owns Badass Beard Oil. It's like a company that sells beard oil, obviously. But he had us do his entire property with laser cut metal, like fence inserts. They were like all like these deer and like just like cool shapes and stuff like that. We were entire 4x8 sheets of steel, and I think we did like 50 of them or something like that. It was crazy.
Wow. Any other requests for anything like that? Because I could see that being a fun little business to get into.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be. It would have to be a local thing. I couldn't imagine shipping that stuff. It's funny because like we can only go to a certain. Heather's saying this shop is 4,000 square feet. I have no idea, Heather. It's big. We can only go to a certain size on like our sublimation and our powder coating and stuff. I think it's like 30 or 40 inches. So we don't do like a lot of like super big stuff. It's only for people that want something like that, like where it's cut out of raw steel and then they can like finish it or just let it rust. Like with the fence things, he actually just let them rust to where they have that like cool, like rustic look.
Cool.
What kind of things are you and Repcord up to? Just I'm sure most of the people in the chat that are active in the chat know what you guys are up to, but just in case anybody watching who's not active in the chat and hasn't seen Repcord's latest products that you guys have been working on, you want to tell everybody about that, Travis?
I mean, basically, we've been working on the Rep Box. It's for anybody that doesn't know what the Rep Box is. It's a spool management box, basically, that's designed to keep your filament safe, or not safe. Well, I guess in some instances safe because it does have a lock on it. So we designed that for like schools and maker spaces and stuff. But keeps it dust free, contaminant free. We have a seal kit that keeps it dry. It's made for like 5 spools of filament. You can do up to 9 spools if you do like the smaller, like half kilo size or whatever. It's a system. And it's designed to where you can feed your filament right out of the box, but keep it dry, keep it safe, all that stuff. And it's designed to where it can be hung up on the wall, hung above your printers, just set stationary beside your printers. And it's made to where you can pull the filament in and out really easily. You don't have to have like a bar straight through the filament or anything like that. So, you just pull the filament in and out. It's on the tush style rolling system, to where like you just set the spools right onto the bearings and stuff like that. So it's nice. I had the idea a while back, and I was just like, I had been working with Pooch for a while, and I was like, let's do this. I think that people might like this, and it's actually taken off really well. It's crazy. Chris is asking the Tish style. The Tish style is basically, it's just like, it's made it to where it's like almost like a ramp thing where it goes up like this. Oh, what is that? That's you giving me a little. That's not helpful. Basically just where the filament sits in it, like I was saying. It's I would have to show it. I'm not good at explaining stuff like this whatsoever. Like, as you can tell. Pooch is way better at that stuff. That's why I was the idea guy, and then like we kind of just went along with it. Anyways, it's been an awesome experience, and it's been fun, and we were selling a lot of them, so it's really cool to be involved in something that is so accepted by the community and stuff. So it's something we put a lot of passion into too. Like we've put a lot of thought into it that I can't explain right now because I've been talking for too long and my words are getting all jumbled up.
Do me a favor, guys. Go ahead and keep talking. Chris, Dave, Brian, go ahead and keep asking questions and stuff because I'm having a problem on my end. I just froze Hangouts.
Uh-oh.
Breaking stuff.
Like, you guys can still hear me, obviously. I don't know if you can see. But
we can hear you and see you.
Okay. Go ahead and keep talking, keep the conversation going. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, I'm gonna have to wave off. It's getting after 10 o'clock, and I need to get some things done around here. Thank you guys very, very much for letting me join in.
Brian, you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Brian_Vines. You can do a quick YouTube search for BB3D, and I will be there. I guess that's pretty much it. I've never done this before. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're just like me.
Okay. Well, thanks again, everyone. Have a great evening, and I'll see you guys around.
See you,
Thanks
man.
for joining us, Brian.
So, Travis, you've got one version of the rep box. Did I see that there was going to be a second, like a second variation in design for the rep box? Something I thought I saw that was maybe set for the pallets.
Yeah, honestly, we've gone through like 7 different versions of the rep box since we showed it off at Earth the first time. It's just been like small changes. Like the recent one that we did is we're calling the 1.5 version or whatever. It has holes along the top that makes it easier for the pallet to. It's got better connectors that aren't like we used to have the small screw-in pneumatic connectors, and there's a chance of those stripping out of the wood, and sometimes they were hard to get in and stuff like that. The ones that we have now like screw in from the front and the back, so they're easier to remove and add new ones and all that stuff. I'm trying to remember what else we changed on that.
Is there something new called a rep saver? There's an unruly woman in the room screaming about a rep saver, and she's going to go crazy if you don't talk about it.
This is what she threw at me. This is the rep saver box, and every rep box comes with one of these. It's a small rep box that's 3D printed box, has an acrylic door, and we were for the longest time we were wondering, okay, everybody includes like gummies or something with your kit to build it, and we were like, for the longest time, we're like, what can we include? And Heather was randomly looking at Uline one time when we were looking for boxes and stuff, and she saw lifesavers on there, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I could build a little tiny or 3D model, a little tiny box that looks just like a rep box and put lifesavers in it. So it makes perfect sense. So we've been throwing these in with all the rep boxes.
Nice. Heather, we saw the rep saver. I hope you saw it too.
Now she can be quiet.
So we just need to buy a rep box, and I can get a rep saver too, right?
Yep. It's all about this. You just want this, and you can go buy a rep box just to get this.
Fair enough.
Yeah, yours should be in the mail, Mike. I actually sent that the other day. I'm surprised you haven't gotten it yet. He did his custom panels. You can do like custom artwork on the sides of them and stuff.
Do you have any logos that you're thinking about doing in the near term future, or are you still just all caught up right now with the rep box?
As for logos, I mean, I'm like kind of backed up. Like I have this Feast of Fiction one I'm doing, and I'm gonna finish that Dame Drop Shield. As for other ones, I mean, I wanted to do some other video game ones and stuff, but I don't know if I'm gonna get back into like doing the YouTuber ones at all. It just really depends on the future. Like I said, I haven't even posted a video on YouTube in 4 months. It's like sad to me that I haven't posted one that long. But yeah, I would like to get back into it, but there's not really anything super planned out right now. Heather again with the 3D Pink Mafia logo. That's my next one. It's a 3D Pink Mafia logo right there.
Hey, Travis. Paul was asking in the room, can early rep box adopters claim a rep saver too?
I actually told Pooch we should send them out to every single person that we sent a rep box to, and I don't know.
But Pooch said no, didn't he?
He might have. I'm not going to say yes or no to that question. But
I have to have a talk with him. I'm not buying him any more breakfast after Earth.
Oh man, I might just do it anyways.
All right, I got my stuff straightened out. Travis, I was going to try to show the rep box on screen, but that's what killed everything. So.
Oh, nice. That's funny. Don't worry about it, man.
And now I can't. I connected. If I disconnected, the stream would have like just dead stopped. So I couldn't close Chrome because that's what crashed. And I joined from my phone. Now I can't get my phone off of it. So whatever.
Hey, Robbie. Yeah, I mean, I've done some video game ones. I've done the Sonic the Hedgehog one that I was showing earlier. I've done Assassin's Creed. Then Super Mario Odyssey. I did the N64 logo. There's a lot of video game stuff I've done. I do want to get into some other video game ones. I do have some of those that I don't necessarily say planned, like I was talking about earlier, that list that I had of all the YouTubers that I was going to do. I have a list of video game ones that I want to do too, but it's all comes down to time and stuff. Like I've been really swamped at my job, and it's kind of taken over, like that, and the rep box stuff is kind of taken over. So, I'll get back to YouTube when I can. I'm never going to quit YouTube. I've done it since 2006, and I've posted random videos in between there. I had a big burst for 3 or 4 years, and then, I'm taking a little break right now, and I'll get back to it. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Travis is active on Instagram and Twitter. You can see plenty of laser cutting on Instagram.
I'm always posting social media stuff.
All right, it's 11:30 now. Do you guys want to start to do outros? Or are there any chat room, Dave, Chris? Is there any other questions for Travis before we start to head towards the outros? Give the chat a chance to catch up.
The only other question I see in the chat is from Practical Printing. Chris out there, can I rep a Rep Rubbers box with my custom sides too? I'm not following that.
The Rep Savers box? I think you meant the Rep Savers.
Oh, okay.
Get some tiny the custom panels for
the okay, so he wants a custom Rep Savers box. Yeah, Travis will get that right out for you.
Oh, Chris, man. Why are you not in the chat with us, Chris? You should be on the stream.
I know. He's been slacking the last few months. Chris, if you get on the stream with us, I'll make sure you get a custom Rep Saver box.
You just got home.
You just got home. Plenty of time. I did have one more question for you, Travis. So you have that list of people who have asked you if you would do their logo. have you ever had anybody come to you wanting to buy your services, to pay you to do their logo?
Oh yeah, dude, all the time. That is like half of that list was like people that wanted to pay for it. That's the problem too, though, is like I couldn't keep up with it in general, like at all. So I mean, you think about like the time it takes to do something like even the Sonic logo right here, for instance. It took me probably like a month straight of like time after work and like on weekends and stuff like that of just messing with it, modeling, sanding. And people don't realize how much time that goes into that. And you know, they want to pay me, but they don't want to pay me enough for how much time I have to do it. So I mean,
that was going to be the follow up to that.
That's not always the case, because I have had people that have paid me well, and it's nice. And some of those I haven't even just like shown like at all. Like they're just like we're special side projects and stuff. So, yeah, it's very funny with that kind of stuff. You know, you don't realize how much, you know, people want to, that kind of stuff until you're just like doing it all the time. So
looks like Chris is going to join us as long as everything works for him technically. Check your DMs, Chris. I sent you the link. Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question is, you know, if you go to Travis or go to anybody who does anything like what Travis does, keep in mind it takes a ton of time. I mean, you're out of printer, at least one printer, for hours, because most of those logos don't take 3 or 4 hours. What is, if you had to guess at your average on your logos, what's your average just print time alone?
Print time, I mean, I would say like 10 to 30 hours. It's like pretty decent. I mean,
the average range.
It varies, yeah.
And that's just print time with no failures. If you have something comes off the bed, now you got to start over. And I had a 26-hour print fail on me that I'm trying to get done for next week. 24 hours in, 26 hours left to go. Yeah, when that kind of stuff happens, it's a huge setback.
Horrible when that happens. Oh, and Tony Ryan, yeah, nobody helps me sand. That's all me. Heather has never sanded a damn thing. And don't let her ever try that. She does. Say that she does.
Okay. While we're waiting for Chris to join, you do a live stream every 2 weeks. Do you want to tell everybody about that? We'll kind of start with your outro a little bit here, leading up to that 2-hour mark.
Yeah, we do the live stream. It's community catch up. It's basically a live stream that we do every 2 weeks that highlights makers around the community and stories that people have tagged using the hashtag community catch up. I know a lot of people that are in the chat have been in the stream, and it's awesome to see all you guys in here too. Yeah, we just really want to show off like all the things that get missed, and like there's so many stories and so many awesome things that people are making all the time that just, you know, go under the radar and like never get seen. So, you know, it's like if we could shine a little bit of light on those things and show them off a little bit more and get a little bit more attention to something that, you know, like I said, wouldn't get that attention. It's just cool to see, and just to talk about it. And like, even for myself, like I wanted to start it because I miss so much in general. So getting to see all those cool, amazing stories and those amazing makes like all in one chunk is just like so much fun. And I love doing that stream. So
how can people, you guys take submissions from the community, from Twitter, Facebook, how can people submit projects?
It's mainly Twitter. People, we try to branch out to like Facebook and stuff, but we haven't gotten like a lot of movement on there, and like it's hard to push it on there. Besides, Heather has to find all the community hashtags, the community catch-up hashtags every 2 weeks, and she sits there for like hours doing that. Like, no joke, she sits there for hours finding them all. But yeah, I mean, people just have to use that hashtag community catch-up, and we'll see all those tags and try to get them into the show. Like there's usually like so many that we can't get everything in, which is awesome. It's like it's taken off, and it's like such an awesome thing to see, and it's so fun to like be involved in the community in that way. Like, so.
You guys are taking the month of December off for the holidays and resuming in January, right?
Yeah, we decided to take December off. It's just been so hectic, like I said, with work and stuff, and just in general. So, yeah, we decided to take December off, and we're going to be back, I think, January 9th, doing that stream. And we need to do another, actually, Catchy Awards. That's like the like our little Oscars that we do for the maker community. That was fun the first time that we did.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. Yeah, it looks like you get, if you stick on the same schedule you are, which for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's not working, Chris. Community catch up is typically not typically, it is the Wednesday before the US F3DPCH stream. So they're always on the same week. And the only reason I said typically is like Halloween, you guys did a day off.
Yeah. There's like random days that will change, but yeah, we try to keep it consistent.
So submit your projects, or if you see any cool projects somebody else is doing, go ahead and tag them, hashtag community ketchup, spelled like ketchup as in the ketchup you put on a sandwich.
Yeah, that was funny to do. Yeah, when I first looked up that hashtag, I saw like random ketchup posts, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. But then there was only a few, so I figured that we could just like take over the hashtag.
There, Chris got in.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
What's going on, guys?
What's up? Hey, make signs like that in your background.
Which signs?
Arizona, Texas.
Route signs.
I'm missing a bunch. My dad tries to collect them. Those ones?
Yeah. Those look like the tin pressed ones.
Yeah, they're like the $4.99 at the truck stops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm missing a bunch of states though. I need the rest.
Yeah, it looks like you only have 2.
Exactly. There's like what, 15 more states? Hey Matt, Shenanigans said it to send him the link as well.
Okay, give me a second. Go ahead, Chris. You can ask Travis questions.
Gosh, I know the answer to most of them, and I got that annoying light behind me there.
That's all right. You might know the answer, but everybody else doesn't. I've been asking Travis stuff all night that I know the answer to, but
I mean, so like, you know, why do you wear the same hat all the time?
That's a good question, Chris. I don't think you've ever asked me that one either.
No, explained it before.
It's basically I love Assassin's Creed for one. I mean, that was like a main thing. It's the logo on it is something that like a bunch of people will recognize out like when I'm just walking around, and I'll like have these random just video game conversations with random people. And Heather's seen this, like it'll just be like in the middle of a grocery store, like walking down the street or something. I'll have these random conversations with people, and it's just like awesome. And I love to have those conversations. And this is like the only hat that I've ever worn that does that. Like it's a weird experience. And it's also like it kind of looks like an A too, because, you know, the Assassin's Creed. So like I figure A Pyro Design. There's a few, like I said, there's a few reasons that, why I wear it all the time. That's a few for you.
I always thought it was like your lucky underwear or lucky hat.
Well, it's funny too because I've gone through like 3 of them. I started out with a white one, and then like that one got all worn out and nasty. And then Danska, Danska on Twitter, he actually sent me one just in our PO box or whatever, just randomly one time. So I wore that one for a while. And then I lost that one, and I was going to VidCon and I had to have this one sent to the hotel, and I've been wearing this one ever since.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Travis, what's your favorite karaoke song?
I know you want to say "Hit Me, Baby" one more time, but it's actually not. My favorite karaoke song is "Creep" by Radiohead, because I love singing that song. But that's the real answer. I actually sing a lot, and I play rock band a lot, and I actually sing a lot better than I did in that damn Britney Spears video.
Wait, I thought it was Phil Collins.
Oh, it's Phil Collins. Yeah, "In the Air Tonight." That one's a good one too. I've never actually sang that one karaoke though.
I've never seen that one karaoke.
That'd be hard.
All right. So to your logos, a practical question there, if it didn't get asked earlier and I missed it. What is your favorite type of filament, or what's the easiest type of filament to work with when you're making the logos? Some materials behave easier for gluing together and painting and stuff than others?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. I mainly just use PLA because I know that there's easier materials, like ABS sand's way the hell easier than PLA does, but I hate printing with ABS. So the smell, the friggin' warping, the separating, all that stuff. So yeah, I just use PLA. It's not really it's just because it's easy. That's the main reason. It's not because of anything else. It's because it's easy to print with.
Gotcha.
Oh, I didn't know I was on this thing.
Oh, this guy's here. I'm leaving.
What? Oh shit! Wow, I can't even see this man.
Hey, that artwork on your background right there, I made that.
Damn. All right. Hold on, I gotta turn my music off.
It's funny. I'm looking at this stream and I see Sean has his art mods thing that I made. You have that rep cord thing that I made. Joe Mike had his thing that I made. There's all these things all over the place that I made. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, gosh.
You should be proud of that.
Yeah, where's yours, Chris? I didn't make you anything. I made you a couple things like that.
So I lost mine in a contract negotiation.
I still have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Lagunitas sign in the house. I've got a couple of the Skunkworks projects that you've done for me in the garage.
Nice.
Which the magnets arrived for that finally. They took the very slow boat from China.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah. I don't know what else I have that you printed for or cut for me.
Kind of random things for you, like weird print beds and stuff.
Yeah.
See, Travis has a list of stuff that over the last year or so I've sent him saying, "Hey, I could get you to cut this for me," and I still never I want a Yoda, and still haven't picked what graphic I want over it.
I get those all the time. People send me stuff so much. I'm like, okay. I'm like, send me an email, send me exactly what you want, and then half the time I don't get anything.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll actually send that to you.
The best way to get Travis to actually cut something for you is have the beer delivered to his house first.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That worse.
All right, I'll tell you what. We've got Sean and Chris just joined, and we're close enough to the 2-hour mark. Why don't we run through quick and do outros, and then we can do our general chat after the 2-hour mark. Let's start off. We'll start with Travis, since he's the guest tonight, the star of the show.
We're gonna start with me. I feel like I've been talking enough that if you don't know who I am by now, you probably don't need to. I'm Travis from A Pyro Design, and you can find me at A Pyro Design on everything.
And all of Travis's links are down in the description. Travis does make and sell stuff on his Etsy shop, and the link's down there for that. He has Patreon, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Facebook, not as much for the A Pyro stuff, right?
Yeah, I use it a little bit, but not much.
Yeah.
You coming to say hi?
I muted myself. Let's go with the new additions to the stream. And there's the other half of A Pyro, Heather.
Hello, hey Heather.
Did you put on your 3D Pink Mafia
I
shirt
did.
just to get on camera?
How sad is that?
She come to show off a logo.
Sorry for spamming the chat so much.
Heather, I think you're the first one that Nightbot like kicked for a little while.
It hates my guts, man.
I didn't even know it was on till it booted you.
Me.
That was funny.
I was gonna see you kept talking about these logos, but you weren't showing them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't want to show any of them?
I can.
Sorry, I know you're doing your outros.
You're all right. We're still technically on Travis.
Show off logos out in the middle of outro.
Oh, that's sweet.
My City Massacre one. That's the second logo I ever made.
Oh, damn.
And this is a failed 3D printing nerd one that I didn't actually send to Joel because I didn't like how it came out.
Travis, on the 3D printing nerd one, something I actually have meant to ask you. The text at the base of it. What size novel did you print that one with?
That's a 0.4.
Yeah, I think it's 0.4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because the text on the bottom came out really clean.
Yeah, it was on my FlashForge Creator Pro, the dual extrusion. Yeah, it came out really nice. I think the text is like the size of the nozzle, literally. It's like one B. Yeah, it did come out like insanely good, and that wasn't on purpose.
Whoa! What did I just hit?
Travis, can you show that script that you did again? The logo for Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed one, yeah. Did I need to talk while it's on so I can?
Yeah, you probably do.
Here's my.
Yeah, I've got you locked on.
It's all shiny and crazy.
Hey, Sean.
Can I have it? Dude, that's my favorite thing. I love it. It is so beautiful. You did a great job on that, man.
While you're there, I just want to say that was an awesome thing that you guys set up and did for the kids up there.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That was a very good community outreach.
Thank you. Next year we want to reach more children, more kids, and have more community members take part.
The robots that we couldn't print because we were a failure.
I have so many broken robots.
Honestly, I want to thank you guys for trying and really like putting effort into it. And thank you, Chris, the Chris that's closer to me, for doing that, and everybody else in the community. This has been awesome. We went to the Marine Corps Reserves today, and they were just thrilled, and they were like, "What? This is so cool!" Like it was awesome, and the volunteers that were helping them, were all about it. They were super excited. And they're like, "You guys made these?" And I'm like, "Well, we didn't make them, but the community made them." And they're like, "Yeah, but they were like made by your hands." I'm like, "Well, they're made by a printer," and I explained it to them, what it all was, because they didn't. A lot of people actually don't know what it is, and which is expected. But I explained it to them, and they automatically got on their phones and started looking up 3D printers, and they got really inspired. And it was just a good feeling to see them be excited about this. And these kids are going to be excited about this as well, and it's going to be awesome. I'm very proud of this community, and I'm very proud of everybody that helped. Thank you. That's it. Sorry. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, Sean, while we're on you, why don't you go ahead and do your intro/outro?
Hi, my name is Sean. Sorry about my camera and my audio. I work at IC3D. I am an extrusion operator. I am the community manager. I do some of the marketing as well. And other than that, I do my own stuff, and I am a case modder, and I do printing and design and artwork and whatever. You can call me whatever. But you can find me on Twitter at ArtMods, on Instagram at ArtModsOfficial, for my personal stuff. And then for my work stuff, if you want to contact me, it's Sean at IC3D, or just contact IC3D in general. And if it is related to community or materials, they'll contact me, and you'll get in touch with me through those means.
Okay. Thanks, Sean. Chris, you're up. Chris, Practical Printing, Chris.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, I'm Chris. I'm Practical Printing. I've been active in the community, but I haven't been active on YouTube in a while. We're still getting settled back into the house after our house flooded out last June. So it's amazing how much crap you can accumulate over 25 years that they can, box up and take out in a day. And it takes months to get back out of those boxes. But we'll have some more stuff coming to the channel soon. Hoping to get something out by the end of the year, if not early next. We have a lot of stuff that's been queuing up in my head, for the last several months. But that's me in a nutshell.
Cool. And you'll be coming back on the Friday night hangouts as you get things set up, right?
Hopefully so.
All right. And next, let's go to the other Chris, Chris B.
From Chris to Chris, from coast to coast.
Oh, yeah.
ACM, brother. So at mcrispy1 here. Find me there on Twitter. Also on Twitter at ERF2018. You can also find information about what I'm working on for ERF with our other co-founders at eastcoastreprepfestival.com. We are working to get our dates out for 2019 as soon as we can. We're hoping to get it out by the end of the year. So stay tuned for more information. That's what I got for now.
All right. And over to Dave.
Hey, David Randolph. You find me over at Printed Solid on Twitter and for Facebook and all the other fun places out there. And yeah, we're having a good old time. I keep it short and sweet this time. I won't go on for hours. Of course, it's still going on, but I'm not going to go on for hours.
Come on.
And for myself, I'm Matt from How I Do It. I'm kind of like Travis and Chris. I really haven't been putting much out. I do have a couple of projects coming up that I'm going to be recording. I have some video that I need to reprocess again because of a power outage the other night when I was going to hit save. But same as Chris said, active on Twitter a lot. I've been trying to get a little bit more active on Facebook on the different 3D printing groups, Printed Solid group, and the main 3D printing group, answering questions and stuff on there. You can find me on Twitter at Country Cowboy. And of course, you can find me on the Friday night 3D printing community hangout on Twitter at F3DPCH. You can find us at F3DPCH.com, YouTube.com/Friday 3D printing community hangout, or just go to the .com and it'll take you there. And the next Friday night stream is the European stream, which will be on Friday, December 21st. I almost said August. December 21st. That is at 3 p.m. Eastern or 20 UTC. That's going to be hosted by Martin from 3D Printed Iceland, and they will be doing a year-end recap on 3D printing in the year and talking about things they hope to see in 2019 or expect to see in 2019. The next US stream is December 28th at 10 p.m. Eastern. Tony Ryan, what did you do to get kicked from Nightbot? Yeah, the next US stream is December 28th. We do not have a topic yet for that. There is a form that you can fill out that's posted on Twitter, and I think it's on the website too now, for topic suggestions or guests that you would like to see on the Hangout. And if you have any contact information for them, that's greatly appreciated as well, so that we can get in touch with them. We do have in January the 25th, we're going to have Wes Swain from Geeksmithing come on the stream as the guest to talk about the projects that he does. He's kind of like Travis a little bit. He's really into video games, does a lot of video game 3D models and 3D printing, as well as laser cutting and things like that. He's going to be coming on, and I've got a couple others that I'm working on, but the dates have not been set yet. So we're always open to suggestions from the viewers, what they'd like to see, and we'd like to try our hardest to get anybody on. So you can send me put a Twitter message at F3DPCH, or fill out the Google Forms thing, which just takes a minute to fill in the information for anything you guys would like to see. So be sure to, if you're not already, subscribe to all the panelists. And if you like the streams, please be sure to subscribe to the Friday Night 3D Printing Community Hangout channel on YouTube and ring the bell for notifications of whenever we go live. All right, that's the long-winded side of things. So, Travis, there was one question from Robbie Mack, the Assassin's Creed logo.
Yeah.
He was asking about I think it was the goldish bronze collar on it. He asked if that was a chrome paint on that one. Kind of had a sheen to it.
It's the same stuff I used on like the boogie shield and stuff. It's just like the Rust-Oleum metallic spray paint that you get at the hardware store. It's just I did it on the bottom of the Sonic too, which is kind of faded a little bit on this one, but this stuff kind of gets a little funky if you like touch it or rub it or anything like that. But it has a really nice shine to it. So if you ever want to just get some, it's just like generic Rust-Oleum metallic paint, gold and silver.
Do you do anything that's not awesome? Like
I do. You're not awesome all the time, I guess. I don't know. None of this stuff is awesome. I don't know.
Just doesn't show the not awesome.
Funless stuff. You're funny.
Trying to figure out what the heck did Nightbot ban him or block him for? Ugh. All right, go ahead and talk, guys. I'm gonna go figure out what the heck just happened there. What have you been up to, Chris?
Me or him?
You.
Oh.
I think he's been up to being awesome.
I thought that's what you were doing.
No, I thought you had awesome today.
No. It's definitely Friday. It's all yours.
You guys gotta get your schedule straight.
Damn. Well, I've been trying to get the Palette 2 working behind me. Sorry, I turned it light. Otherwise, the light was super bright. But let me see. Let me slide and show you. So one shiznitty thing about the Palette 2 is that you can't mount it on the wall upside down. They added the firmware feature to allow you to rotate the screen, but you can't put it on the wall upside down, so you can put it on the wall below a rep box. So it's like not friendly. So I kind of designed this is the prototype, and it's a really crappy print, but 4 holes in the back. The palette just slides into it. You know, the little lip grabs it, holds it on the wall, hole in the bottom, holes in the side so you can get your cables and the ventilation in and out. If you need maintenance, you just lift it out, set it on the table, boom. So I've been prototyping that, but that is about a 23-hour print with a 0.7 millimeter nozzle on the Rostock Max.
Another practical print.
Another practical print.
Whoa.
Let's see what you did there. Other than that, I've been slammed again because I was trying to get back in the house. That part of that's going slow because I've been slammed with the day job. We're working on a project for Germany right now, so I actually fly out on January 2nd for Bavaria, Germany. I'll be there through somewhere between the 13th and the 21st. Depends how long it takes to wrap things up. Going to hopefully swing by the UK if I can arrange like a layover on the way back, like an overnight layover on the way back. Yeah, hopefully meet up with some of the UK community. At least have drinks or dinner or something.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean? Besides printing a bunch of robots, what have you been up to?
I've just been working on some sketches, trying to get like, I don't know, frustration out of my brain and just relax and enjoy myself. Other than that, printing weird things, circle templates and designing some stuff. I'll be hopefully. I'm planning on being at DragonCon next year or this year in 2019. And I've been doing some like design work on some props and costumes. And that's actually got me back into script writing. And I've been writing kind of like a story out. Right now it's just an outline and whatnot of characters and events and backstories. But it's piqued my interest again in writing scripts. So pretty much I've just been being me and just being very like scatterbrained and multitasking and being creative. Other than that, this just in, super failed print, super awesome. I don't know how that happened because the last one, where'd it go? The last one printed perfectly, and this one just ended up same file. I just hit reprint, and it done jacked it up. So,
how tall was that?
Say what?
How tall was the print?
Not very tall. It's just it's a tree ornament. It's like, I don't know if you can see my finger. It's like that.
Yeah.
Nothing bad.
I've had the MK3 a couple of times. If I did like a full height print where the top of the head where the wires were at was up by the crossbar.
Oh, yeah.
When it tries to do its homing, there's enough little bit of friction back there that it thinks that it's homed all the way on the X. So it starts printing. It finds the middle is like all the way over on the right.
Interesting. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, I had a bad experience with my hot end on this, my stock hot end, the E3D that they put on there. They sent me another one, and that one bled through. All the plastic kept coming out of the nozzle, or around the nozzle, and then around the hot end, or the heat block. And then I said, screw that, and I put my mosquito on it, and now I'm just trying to, like, tune it in, but I'm still having issues. So if anybody has tips on putting a mosquito on a Mark III, let me know. Kitty, what you doing? Yeah.
I got to bounce. I got to jump off. I'm getting called back in. So I think there's a wine bottle emergency in there or something.
Later, Chris.
Got one of those electric bottle openers, and I'm guessing the battery's dead again halfway through the cork. I'll come back on chat in a bit.
All right, see you, Chris.
See you, Chris.
So, Sean, you want to tell everybody a little bit more about the robots? And I saw you had a spotlight on the news and everything.
Yeah, sure. So this idea has been bouncing around for like 3 years before I was even a part of IC3D. And then this year, Matt, the COO of IC3D, called me into a meeting one day and was like, hey, I want to do Toys for Tots. This is my idea. And I was like, dude, we got like no time to do this. Like, this is a real last minute, dude. And we didn't know anything. Like, we didn't know if they would even accept 3D printed toys, or, you know, what materials can we use, or, you know, does things have to go through, you know, the FDA or whatever. And Maria came on board as a godsend. She's a beautiful human being. She is just like, she does a lot of stuff at IC3D now. She came into the meeting and was like, it was like her third day, and she got in contact with the Marine Corps Reserves and Toys for Tots, like the U.S. like HQ of Toys for Tots and whatever. And she just like, hey, here's all this information. The United States Marine Corps Reserves in Ohio says, yes, let's do this. We can't use PLA or ABS, you know. And I'm like, good, we make PETG. That's what your water bottles are made out of. That's pretty darn good. So we started doing PETG. I contacted some people in the community to help us print. We donated all the materials and whatnot, and everybody else really just made this happen. It was the community that made it all happen. And at the time, I was not expecting like a whole bunch of toys. We were aiming for 300, and I was surprised we even got 150. We got 150 toys. That's 150 children that are going to have an awesome Christmas this year, that are going to have smiles on their faces and make an impact on them.
That's cool.
And I didn't even like, I didn't feel it until like all the toys like came within 2 days of each other. And when they all arrived, I was like, what is happening right now? Like, you guys are just freaking awesome. Just, I don't even know how to explain it. Just awesome people.
Robbie wants you to know, Sean, that he heard through the grapevine that kids these days are really into fluorescent colored toys, specifically fluorescent
brown. Oh,
what's that fluorescent brown?
I knew it was coming. Damn it.
He hasn't given up on that. It's been 2 weeks and he still hasn't given up.
He's not gonna ever give up. And that's an old joke. Like, now I know how it feels because I used to make that joke. We're working on a fluorescent brown, Robbie. We're working on it. It's not coming out right. It's not fluorescent enough. Anyway, yeah, so it all happened just super fast, and everybody that was involved tried their hardest and did what they could. The design changed twice. The toy design changed twice just because it was too hard to print. And the robots were still hard to print for many people. Heather. And then, but it all came together. Everybody did their part, and there was no complaining. It was just all for the kids, which was just completely awesome. Yesterday, or was it yesterday or 2 days ago? It was 2 days ago now. The news contacted us like an hour before they were arriving, and we didn't even know. And they're like, oh, we heard through the grapevine, blah, blah, blah. And then they showed up, and I'm like, oh, no. Like, gosh, looked like it fell off the back of an aircraft carrier. But they came, and they did a little report on it. And unfortunately, I mentioned the community quite a bit, and unfortunately, they made it into what they wanted to make it, like the news does. But it was still a good story. It was nice. They said it was a multi-state, initiative, which is true. And it was just real cool. We delivered them today, and everybody was super thrilled. Everybody was interested in 3D printing. And just from seeing them and hearing about 3D printing, everyone was like, what is that? Which is awesome, because that's what we need in this world. We need more of that, because that will solve a lot of problems, in my mind. So yeah, so I just want to thank everybody that was involved and everybody that wants to help next year. Next year is going to be bigger and better, and we're going to reach more children. And hopefully we're looking for designers to design toys, so we can show kids that you can design this, you can make this, and this can be your future type deal.
Cool.
So, sorry to blab, but that's I'm just so proud of everybody. I'm proud, and I'm touched, and I cried, and I'm about to cry again, because it's awesome. It's so cool. Y'all are just freaking amazing. Love you.
That's really neat. It was cool today to see that. I'm not sure when the news thing was from, but I saw it this morning, and that was neat. It's cool what you guys did, and since we don't have a community catch up this month, I was talking to Pooch on Wednesday because he was having trouble with his heat, and all day long him and I were texting back and forth while he was trying to fix his heater. And I thought, oh, that's right, community catch-ups tonight. I came home, was doing some stuff, and then realized I was missing it. I jumped on YouTube and realized, oh yeah, it's not on.
Well, that's good that we have your attention.
Chris, what are you working on?
Me?
You're the only one here now.
Oh, yeah. How about that? Hold on. Let me find the room again. Well, I've actually been working on, what I've been working on. Well, maybe you don't.
Robots.
There are two things that you've been working on.
So, this is a little design. Well, not by Matt, but Matt made this 3D model. I'm quite impressed with it. All the colors are different prints. His tolerances are really, really tight. I don't have a gold I like very much right now, so I swapped out the Raven's gold for silver. So that's my variation that I'm liking right now. And then to show you the gold that I don't like.
I still don't think that looks too bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, but I'm not a gold guy. I'm a silver guy. So I figured, why not? I have the ability to do. Here's both of them at the same time.
Oh yeah, that silver is beautiful.
I like the silver better myself. So that's one of the things I've been playing with. I'm printing up a whole bunch of 2018 snowflakes.
And you're coloring those with Sharpies, right?
I'm just coloring it with Sharpie. It's not worth all the headache to go through to do a filament change for 3 layers of 0.14 layers, blah blah blah, or 0.4 millimeter layers. I'm trying to think. Really, not much else. No big projects running right now. Just trying to get through the holiday. As I said before, the Earth team is hard at work. We're trying to get our date set for the 2019 event. I think I can tease this much and tell people to think fall time frame. But other than that, it's been busy at work, and I've had less time to play. So other than that, there's actually one other really fun 3D printing project that I've been playing with, but I can't show anybody yet because it's for Printed Solid's White Elephant printed gift swap exchange Sunday. So as much as I would like to show off the I'm really excited about it. I hope whoever gets what I'm bringing enjoys it, because I would like to have it so much that I've been printing second pieces of it after I started. I said, okay, yep, I'm going to print all seconds so I can have my own too. I'll show everybody that. I'll give an update on that Sunday after the swap.
Is that another big Moai back there, the green behind you?
That's a larger size Totodile.
Okay.
From Augustine. And
it was shaded back there. I could just kind of see the outline of it.
But that's all I really been working on, really. That's it.
Tony Ryan said that an MMU2 would make those color changes for you for your ornaments.
It would, if maybe if I'm lucky this year. I'm hoping that Santa might be bringing me a palette too. Either that, or I might look at a palette too. Come bonus time, if bonuses happen this year, we'll have to see what happens. But that's definitely in my thought. And Travis, if I get a palette 2 or an MMU 2, a rep box will surely be in my future, because I really need to have a rep saver box, and I'm going to do anything to get it.
Well, you know what you said about the rep saver. I just realized Chris came on. That means I got to make sure he gets a custom rep saver.
What is it? What's that, Carl? What is it you're printing 2 feet long?
What is what you're printing 2 feet long? Oh yeah, I wish I'm not going to be able to come down to Printed Solid on Sunday because I'm on call for work. But I really kind of wished I would be to see what Carl's bringing.
Oh, okay. So I get it. Carl is saying he's printing something that's 2 feet long for Sunday. No, it's not.
Is Carl gloating about his imaginary printer again? Oh, I'm sorry, Carol. Is Carol gloating?
I gotta say, man, he's been dropping hints pretty regularly here.
I know. I'm excited to see this. I want to know if it lives up to the hype.
I will report.
Please do. Take pictures. Send them to me. I want to see it.
You're not making the drive, Sean?
Shit.
Yeah, that's the same response you had the last time, and next thing I know, you showed up there the next day.
Yeah,
me to offer a free couch. I'm just saying.
Don't do that to me. I'm gonna drive up there now.
Hey.
He'll do it just to go to lunch at Chaps.
Oh, Chap. Oh, yeah. That sandwich filled me up all night. Like, that was ridiculous. It was so good.
Yeah, a visit to Chaps is in the near future for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'll see you guys at the meetup.
I really do wish I could get down there, but it's not going to happen this weekend.
No, what a pisser. Well, gang, I think it's time for me to roll out of here.
Once a month, so that means you have to drive here at least once a month.
Wait, you want me to drive there once a month?
I'm just saying that's how often we do the meetups.
Wow.
And Sean, get a rental car.
I need gas money, dude.
Company expense.
Yeah, see, you got to work it into the company expense.
Sean, you need to come out to Printed Solid to do product training.
Oh, there it is. Yep, product training. Yep.
There you
Absolutely.
go. Community outreach.
Community outreach product training.
Dave,
Well,
what do you do?
send an email and require it every month.
So in order for you guys to be a vendor, I have to require monthly visits. Okay.
Yep, I'll do it every month. I will come out there.
Be careful what you wish for, Dave.
Sorry, say that again.
I said, what have you? Yeah, what have you been working on?
Oh dear Lord. Well, you know, running a company takes all the time out of your life, but personally, I've been making this 5-axis CNC mill for home, just for fun. It's going to be 1,000 millimeters by 1,000 millimeters by 1,000 millimeters, and it's a 3D printed for the 4th and 5th axis.
Jesus.
I found this project online, and this guy did an amazing job, but he did 0 documentation. And it requires a lot of hardware and belts and pulleys and stuff like that. And I've been printing and reverse engineering it, and I'm going to try and build up a build of materials because everyone's asking for it, and the guy kind of disappeared off the internet. He did amazing work and then disappeared. I'm like, ugh, too many people want it. So I'm getting real close. I'll probably have at least the 4th and 5th axis done in a week or 2.
David, are you going to release the files when you're done with it?
That's the sad thing. The files are released already. That's just there's 0 documentation. So I'm going to do like documentation so that there's actually people know what, you know, like screws and bolts and belts and pulleys to buy.
Right.
And
so you're going to release the BOM and stuff?
Oh yeah, and then I have a BOM. I'll do like I'll probably just do instructables, and then put his files.
Heck so what you're saying is it's currently like buying a 3D printer kit was 2 years ago.
Pretty much.
Parts in no directions.
And I'm trying to bring it up to 2018. So, but I'll get there. It was a lot of guesswork. So I got belts and pulleys and different hardware sets sitting around from misestimating everything.
What's on your menu right now, David? What material?
Oh, with this I've been printing it all pure ABS.
Okay.
And I've been using El Cheapo ABS to get through the initial stages, and I got to go back and print it out with something good.
Yeah.
And do it that way, and then I'll vapor polish it to actually give it some more strength.
Oh, cool.
Because it's I mean, yeah, you do a 4th and 5th axis as our CNC, strength is your biggest enemy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like I say, I got a giant 4-inch bearing with a giant hole in the middle on this. It's double encapsulated. Heat set nuts on the other side.
Okay.
And then this pops into here.
Wow.
And that's what drives this. That's the 5th axis. There.
Wow. Those tolerances are real nice.
Yeah, I've been sanding them. And then this sits on this. And that's axis number 4.
You're like a mad scientist. I love it.
Well, it's kind of funny because as I've been working on this project, the amount of parts that I've stolen out of my droids has is increasing on a pretty regular basis.
Is that how you keep the cost down? You take it from something you already paid for them for?
Well, usually when I build something, I usually buy like 2 of the wrong things before I actually finally buy the right thing. So eventually down the road, I have that part just sitting around. It works out pretty well.
I'd ask Travis what he's working on, but I think he's working on bedtime.
I should say this, minus motors and electronics, is about $150 worth of bearings and bolts.
Yeah, that size of a bearing and that smooth of movement out of it, they're not cheap.
Oh, yeah. And then it's got a pretty nice slick T5 pulley that goes on the back. And I'm still working on finishing up the holes, but pretty much that'll sit there on the back, drives down, motor, pulley. And then there's another T5 down here with another motor off the back of that. And that's how to get those two axes. Oh, yeah, Tony, exactly. I am scared to death of crashes, especially with a 5-axis. If it crashes, I don't think the tool head's what I got to worry about. I think the entire 4th and 5th axis will shatter on this.
Very cool, Dave.
But that's been most of my fun, and then I have new toys coming into the shop I get to play with. I'm keeping it a secret until it arrives on Tuesday, but I have another toy, not the toy Chris is thinking of, but I have another giant toy that's showing up on a semi on Tuesday. I'm running out of space. I'm going to have to buy a 3rd building here soon. And no, Naked, my BB-8 is still not done. I sent my drive actually off to a friend because he's got more time than I do, and he's going to finish up my drive. And then I'm waiting on another friend of mine to finish up the design work on a new ball, so I'll print out another ball again. Another ball, another dome. Another 20 kilograms of filament.
Story of my life.
Sorry,
wait. Chris, practical printing. What is my fault? What's my fault? Why am I being blamed for things again?
And hey, Dave, I know a guy if you need some filament.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know who you're talking about.
That guy is supposed to come by on Sunday. We'll see what happens.
I was actually talking about Matt.
That's what I was thinking too.
Sorry, Sean.
I was hoping for a free plane ticket. That's okay.
Sorry, you're in Ohio. I'm in Delaware. You know how expensive that ticket would be?
Yeah, it's like $300. I already tried it. But the drive was just as expensive.
Yep. But then you at least get to see the pretty countryside.
Yeah. Jesus, cat.
Most of your time in West Virginia, though. And dear Lord,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You lost your camera.
My cat done messed my stuff up. Darn it.
Well, hey, gang, I am going to run. I got to finish up a couple of things, and then I need to hit the hay. So good chatting. Travis, thank you for sharing some of your inner thoughts and what goes on inside your mind as you're doing this stuff. It's really cool to see it through your eyes. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I think now's probably a good time to wrap it up. Sean dropped off. Yeah, Travis, thank you for coming on. Chris, Dave, thanks for coming on. Sean and Chris and Joe Mike. Thank you guys. If you're still watching, thanks for joining us tonight. And like I said, we're looking for suggestions on who you guys want to see us talk to, topics you want to see us talk about. We've really been enjoying having special guests on, and the special guests gave us an excuse to drag Travis on. So, yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. All right. Why do I not have the button? There it is.